Good morning, everybody. My name is Jonathan Maddock. I'm a subject matter expert here at Redtail Technology. Today, we're going to be starting off our first of a four-part series, World-Class Experience Explained Seminars. Now, if you've joined us over the last couple weeks, you know that we, in just maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did a very similar webinar, but we had such, feedback from you all that we decided to go ahead and make it a larger series because there were so many good questions and we had so many people reaching out to us that we went ahead and tried to go ahead and do a deeper dive. So if you have attended that, it's going to be a little bit of a kind of a rewind, but it is still some good content. Today, we're going to be focusing mostly on kind of building out your seminars, building your lists, building your seminars. And then we're going to go ahead and follow it up with different ways to go ahead and use those seminars and how you actually use them and then tracking them. And then finally, we're going to be touching on some of the follow-ups to that. So definitely take a look over the next 4 weeks as we go ahead and get ready for this. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's content. Like I said earlier, we are going to be touching on the building of the lists, the building of the seminars, and then we're also going to be touching on the mail merges and broadcast emails. So this is going to be something that works very hand in hand with the seminars because we either want to send them a letter inviting them, or we want to go ahead and send them an email for the invite. Then based off of their reaction, we can then go ahead and account for that. So we can go ahead and mark them as RSVP'd or whatnot. So first thing that we want to go ahead and do is we're going to build that list, because this is really when you go ahead and start dealing with seminars. It's all kind of a process. There's a rhythm to it. And so what I recommend is go ahead and let's find out who we're even going to have attend this event. So from there, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to create 2 lists today. We're going to create one for our active clients, and then we're going to go ahead and create one for our prospects. We're going to create 2 seminars, one for prospects and one for our clients. And so we'll go ahead and take a look at that. So in order to build the list, we're going to go over to the left-hand side. We're going to go to contacts, and we're going to head up to the advanced search section. So if we are already ranking our clients and we're using statuses and categories appropriately, this is going to be very easy to go ahead and define our list. So for today's prospecting list, I want to be taking a look at, I want to see my prospects. And of those prospects, I want to see the ones that are hot, the ones that are actively talking to me back and forth about trying to get their business. So to do so, we're going to go ahead and under type, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the contact level data. And I'm going to go down to status here. And then I'm going to go to equals to, and I want it to bring up my prospects. So I can go ahead and say prospect. If I go ahead and run that search, it's going to bring up about 41 records. But again, like I said, I want to narrow it down to only my hot prospects. I don't want any cold or any warm or anything like that. I want to go ahead and just have my hot prospects, people who are more likely to sign with me after going to this event. So we'll go ahead and, again, contact level data. We're going to go to category this time. And I want it to equal to hot, because in our office, we go ahead and determine our prospects based off of warm, hot, and cold. So we'll go ahead and run that search, and you'll see that it kind of dropped it down to about 31 records. Now, if you joined us last time, this is one of my favorite indicators right here. And I even did a little bit of Googling on this, and internet is such a funny place, because it came up with the actual definition of this. And the definition is a plate licker. This is somebody who comes to your event, who is literally just there to get your free food. They have no interest in using your services at all. They're just there for the free food. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we can go ahead and exit those out of this list. Now, to take that just one step further, I've also talked with offices who use kind of a similar word, and maybe not plate liquor is what they use because it's not necessarily the food, but they've actually had different events where people come and they almost start poaching their clients, or their prospects right in front of them. So whether it's a real estate agent that you invite, and then the real estate agent just starts trying to chum up some business. and you don't want them to go ahead and attend your event, then go ahead and put a keyword on them and say, not invited to prospecting events, or no event. Something like that that indicates to you that, hey, I'm having this event and I don't want these people to invite it. These people invited. Now, they may be great prospects and they potentially have a chance to do business with you, but you don't really necessarily like their actions when they come to a party. So let's go ahead and leave them out. So I can go do theirs. I can go to account or contact keyword, and I'm going to say keyword, and I can go I can say is not equal to, because I want to remove these people from that list. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to go into my keyword here, and I'm going to find plate liquor. So I'll find plate liquor, and then what you'll see is if I go ahead and run this search, it's going to drop down. It removes about 7 contacts here. And if for any reason I wanted to take a look at those contacts of who was removed, I can go ahead and say equals to, and it's actually going to be the inverse. So it's going to be everybody who is a prospect hot and then who does have a keyword of plate liquor. So these are the 7 here that I'm not going to be inviting. But for this example, I'm going to go ahead and say not equal. We'll go ahead and run that search. And now I have 24 people. These are the 24 people that I want to attend my event. Now I'm going to go ahead and save this list, because this potentially is a prospecting list that I could use for the remainder of these people being prospected. So we'll go ahead and say, we'll say hot prospects without plate liquor keyword, and we'll go ahead and save that list. And then let's go ahead and build our active client list. So here we're going to go ahead and say we're going to go ahead and reset this, and I want to go ahead and say I want active clients. So I'm going to say contact status equals to active client, and then I'm also going to go ahead and say, and I want them to either have a status of, actually, first, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I want to go ahead and add that plate liquor keyword. I don't want them to be attending if I do have any appreciation, maybe, or they're your active clients who, again, are trying to poach your active clients, and so you're like, nah, I don't really like you to attend these events, so let's go ahead and remove them from this seminar list. So we'll go ahead and say not equal to, and we'll find plate liquor here. And now what I want to do is now I want to go ahead and search my active clients who are not equal to a plate liquor, which I have quite a bit. But then I also want, this is a client appreciation event, so I want to make sure that I have my AAA clients and my AA clients. Unfortunately, the A clients just, we're just not going to attend. We're not going to invite them for this example. So we'll go ahead and say and we're going to say contact. We're going to say category equals to AAA. And now we're going to say and we're going to go ahead and try to build this same exact search. So I know it seems a little tedious at this point in time, but the whole point of us doing this is that we can save this list, and then we don't have to fill out these drop downs again. So let's really quickly go down to contacts. We'll go to status. I'm going to go ahead and say equals to active client, and then I'm going to say and I'm going to say contact keyword is not equal to plate liquor, and then we're going to last one we're going to say and we're going to say contact, we're going to say category, and it's going to say equal to AAA. Or AA, excuse me. So now what I have is I have all my active clients who are AAAs that don't have a keyword of plate liquor, or I want to bring up anybody who's an active client who's a AA client that doesn't have a keyword of plate liquor. So now I can go ahead and run this search. I have 266 contacts. Now it brought me down to about 197. Now, if this is a really big group, or maybe we can begin to search based off of zip code, because maybe we have some clients that are all over the United States, and surely they probably won't be flying into town just for this one event. We can go ahead and narrow down our search even more if that is what's needed. So now I'm going to go ahead and save this. It does seem a little high for the event that I'm doing, but it's okay. We love our clients. So I'll say active, AAA, and AA clients without plate liquor keyword. And we'll go ahead and save that. So now I can go up to my list at any point in time. And again, this is a dynamic list, so we'll go into quick lists here. And if at any time somebody changes their status in their category and they now begin to fit this criteria, they'll be pushed right into this list. So we have our attendee lists. Now let's go ahead and create our seminars. So we're going to go to the left-hand side. We're going to hit seminars. And we're going to go ahead and create kind of the skeleton of our event. So we'll go to the right-hand side and hit New Seminar. And the first one that I want to create is our holiday prospecting event. So I'm going to say 2017 holiday prospecting. Oh, look, it's already been done before. So we'll go ahead and say I want it to be done on a Friday. Seems good. I think 6 o'clock hour start time is probably pretty fair. And then we'll allow it to go for about 3 hours, and maybe we have this at our office, or maybe we rent out a restaurant, whatever it may be. However we can gain these people's trust and their business is really what we're looking to do here. So we're going to leave the status as active. We've got our date, we've got our start time, our end time. So we'll go ahead and add that seminar. It's going to bring us right into the seminar itself. Some things that we can take a look at here are, one of my favorites is the timeline over here on the right-hand side. It allows me to kind of see where I'm at within the event itself, what is made, who has made changes, any adjustments that need to get done, or as people RSVP, we can go ahead and see that update right over here if I'm not the one that adjusts it. So now we can say location. We'll say Roost Chris Steakhouse. I don't know if it's a statewide, but it's pretty nice venue here in sunny Northern California. So we'll go ahead and add that there. And then really what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and update the seminar. Now we can go into manage attendees. If I click back in here, I can go into manage attendees here and I can add an attendee. So I could go ahead and pull a list. If I know that certain people are going to come, I can go ahead and add them one by one and then give them a status. I can give them a status of RSVP'd yes or a status of invited. And then as they kind of respond to me, I can go ahead and adjust their status. Now, this list is customizable. So if you see something here that you don't like, or if you see something that you do like based off of this list, you can go ahead and adjust it as needed. But I made a list for a reason, so let's go ahead and add our lists to this seminar. So I'm going to go back into seminars over here on the left, and then what I'm going to go ahead and do. Oh, actually, excuse me. I'm going to go to contacts. I'm going to go to my quick lists here, and I'm going to pull up my hot prospects without plate liquor keywords. So now I have I have 24 contacts here. I'm going to select all of them. And this is how we're going to do it for both examples. We're going to select all 24 contacts. You see that all 24 are selected. Contact options becomes available over here on the right-hand side. And we'll go ahead and click into that. We're going to scroll down to where it says bulk actions, and we'll go ahead and click into bulk actions. Now, this is an alphabetical list, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and click Add to Seminar. So I'm going to add these 24 prospects here with a given status, which would be seminar invited, because, again, I don't know if these people are going to be attending yet. So I want to leave them as a status as they've been invited. And then I'm going to go ahead and find my seminar that I've already been created. So I can go ahead and hit Add to Seminar. And when that's done, I can go back into my seminars over here on the left-hand side. I can go into my 2017 holiday prospecting event, and what you'll see is it now says 24 attendees. So I can click into this, and I can go to manage attendees, and I see all of those contacts. So with all of that, let's go ahead and create our client appreciation meet and greet that we're going to go ahead and do for our active clients, because this is a really great time of year to go ahead and meet, family members that we don't necessarily have a face to the name yet, and it really helps overall with developing those relationships with those family members, so that as things begin to change within their life, you already have that relationship. First thing that comes to mind is wealth transfer, right? We know that wealth transfer is a big deal right now. This is a great time of year to kind of open up the office, let people bring in their family, their friends, and get to know them, so that as the wealth begins to transfer, we already have that relationship and they have a go-to advisor for them. I know that there's a statistic, something like 70% of widows will end up leaving their advisor because they don't feel like they were included in any sort of communication. So if that is something that's important to you, or something that you are dealing with, this is a great way to go ahead and build that kind of bridge that gap with that relationship. So again, we'll go ahead and hit new seminar over here on the right hand side. We're going to go ahead and say 2017 client appreciation event. And then we'll go ahead and say, we can select it. We'll just do the 21st, and we're going to keep that same timeline. We'll go ahead and do 6 p.m. It's going to end on the 21st as well, and we're going to have it go to that 9 o'clock hour. So we'll go ahead and click that. Again, very similar to what we just did. Just want to give you some repetition here. So now we're going to go ahead and go to our contacts again. I'm going to go to advanced search, and I'm going to pull up that same quick list that we had earlier. So we'll go ahead and say active clients. Now we have this whole list. We're going to select all 197 contacts, contact options, bulk actions, and then we're going to go into add to seminar. So in case everybody, so we're going to select all of them, contact options over here on the right hand side, bulk actions down here at the bottom, alphabetical list, add to seminar. So we hit add to seminar, and then we're going to go ahead and find our 2017 client appreciation event, and then we'll go ahead and mark everybody as invited. So we'll go ahead and add to seminar. So now we'll go ahead and back into the seminars over here on the right hand side, and you'll see for our 2017 client appreciation event, we have those 197 attendees. Now, we have our attendees list. We have the seminar created within the database. Now, Jonathan, what do I do with it, right? Well, how am I going to communicate to these people, and how am I going to track what communication I'm having with them? So let's go ahead and take a look at what a mail merge and a broadcast email will look like when we're sending out those invites. So for this example, I'm only going to be using the holiday prospecting event. So I can go ahead and just on the left of the seminar title, we can hit this action icon, and we have a number of different options here. So we can take a look at the timeline. We can run different reports. That's going to be in next week's presentation. But the ones that we are most interested in is sending to search to go ahead and send a broadcast email, and doing a mail merge. So we've made it pretty intuitive to where you can go ahead and do a mail merge directly from the 24 attendees that we have in the seminar. So I'm going to hit mail merge here. I'm going to so I can select which status I want. So if people say RSVP no, well, I'm not going to probably send any follow-up or anything like that, right? So I can go ahead and select which status I want. Because this is a brand new event, this is the first invite that we're sending out, all statuses selected is going to be just fine. And then what I can go ahead and do is I can select the mail merge template that I already have within my database and send that out. Now, if you have any questions about how to set up a mail merge, there's plenty of resources on the help desk about that. So if you are going to be taking a lot of this information and trying to apply it to your business, definitely make sure that you understand how to do mail merges and then even the broadcast email. So I can hit basic letter. Then I also have the option to save as a note, so that there's a note added to their contact record that says, hey, there was a mail merge created for this person at this time on this day, and we can go ahead and add any additional notes. So I would say, invited to prospecting event. So we'll go ahead and run that mail merge for these 24 people. And what you'll see is it's going to go ahead and hopefully we'll bring up Word. Yep, there we go. So got a kind of a dummy text in here, but really what it's going to go ahead and do is it's going to pull that mail merge, which is going to insert those fields. And what you'll see here is we have some bad data. So if you are running some mail merges and you see that, oh, I have some blanks in the addresses or the names that I wanted to go ahead and pull, then there's clearly something that needs to go ahead and get adjusted. Or it very well could be my mail merge here that maybe I'm missing the first name and the last name. But I should have everybody here. Yeah, there we go. So we have a family name. So this one is pulling the family name. So if you don't have a family name on file, that's probably why you're missing that information. If you're seeing blank, you're seeing holes in the addresses or whatnot, definitely check to make sure that a primary address is selected on all of your contacts. Because again, the system only knows to pull whatever is marked as primary. And without that being marked, then you're going to have holes in your data like you see here. I have no first name or no family name. And then even, I'm missing some addresses in here. So we want to make sure that we go ahead and set up all of those people to have that correct information. So once we have a mail merge that works for us, we can go ahead and print those out, slap a stamp on them with an envelope, and then go ahead and send them out. But what you'll also see is I've gone ahead and selected Save As Note. And so if I go ahead and cancel out of this and I go into, I believe, David Carr. Let's see here. I think David Carr was one of our, yep, there we go. So this is a prospect here. It's one of our hot prospects. He's going to be attending our prospecting event. And what you'll see here is mail merge document created. I can go ahead and click into it and I can see that that piece of information that communication was created for them. So date, time, user stamped, and that additional note is here as well. So now the next thing that we can go ahead and do is we're going to go into seminars here. And if we want to go ahead and take advantage of the broadcast email, and we're going to go ahead and send an email through the CRM system to all 24 prospects. A couple things we want to make sure is, one, we have the email settings correct. Also, we want to make sure, again, above all, we want to make sure our broker dealer allows us to use the broadcast email function. So definitely check with your compliance team first before you go ahead and set that up. But if all of that is good to go and you're all set and you're allowed to go ahead and use it, what I recommend doing is going into the seminar event, clicking the action icon over here on the left, and then you're going to send to search. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to take the 24 attendees that are already applied to the seminar, and it's going to put it into the advanced search section. And what that will allow us to do is then do what we just did. We can select all 24 contacts just the same way that we added them to the seminar. There's going to be a bulk action to send a broadcast email. So we'll go to contact options here. After all 24 contacts are selected, we're going to go down to bulk actions, and then we'll go to broadcast email. This will bring up a compose email window, and then we can select our template that we're going to use, which is 2017 holiday event invite. And you'll see that it's already populated with a subject. It's got the 24 records that we're sending it to. It's coming from my email address so that my clients know that it's coming from me. And then I also have just some content here. So I have some dear nickname first name, which will allow me to pull the first name or the nickname first. It will address them as John rather than that informal Jonathan. So I can say first name or nickname first, then first name, and that will allow them, if they don't have a nickname on file, it will address them for the first name. Then we also have the ability to put in the spouse nickname and first name, and then finish it up with the last name. So we would say dear, John and Aaron Maddock, or whoever it may be. Have some content in here, and again, this is completely up to you on how you set all this up. But then the big thing that you'll see here is we want to save copy as a note, and we want to send me a copy, because again, history is the name of the game. We want to know that these 24 people had an email sent to them, so we're going to save it as a note within the database, and we'll go ahead and send that broadcast email. So we've sent that off. And then we could go ahead and check back into the contact record to go ahead and see what was sent. Now, that's pretty much how you're going to go ahead and get started with your seminar. So again, as what we recommend you do, create a list, find the people who are going to be attending, then go ahead and create the seminar within the database, label it whatever you need it to be that indicates to you what event this is. And then from there, start communicating with your clients as to how you're going to go ahead and meet with them, or if they're going to attend or not. And that's pretty much it. So that's going to get us started over the next 4 weeks. So please, if you're looking to, this is good information, you're looking to really use this for the holidays or for any upcoming events that you have going on. This is what we recommend to do. So like always, if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to us at support@redtailtechnology.com. Also, you can reach us by phone at 1-800-206-5030, extension 3 for support, and we can help you out with whatever you may need. Otherwise, we hope that you enjoyed the webinar, and we look forward to seeing you over the next couple weeks.